Gas or what?
All right, everybody, welcome. It's gonna look a little bit different today. Trey is unfortunately sick, so we're here with Garrett. Um, gonna do our show today, have a little bit of fun, and yeah, get right to it. Garrett, how are you doing? How's everything?
Good, good. Excited to talk some ball.
Ah, here we go, man. So, I think the first one is you and I have kind of been all over this one for sure. It's going to be the Brock Purdy. Oh man, has this one's been brutal. You have a lot of Niners fans making excuses, and then you have people like you and myself that have been saying this for what year since the Ravens put belt ass on Christmas 2 years ago.
Yep, that was the date that marked my because I was a Purdy truther.
Yep.
And you actually weren't for in the very beginning, which I didn't see it at the time. Because obviously we all saw the Linsanity run, and we were all
Mm-hmm.
like, "Man, he could be the truth," and you know, QB smarts and all that fun stuff. But at the end of the day, when I saw that game and I saw him against elite quarterback talent and just a good roster, I was like, "This guy is not built for the big leagues."
Yeah, man. And I think that's like the biggest problem, right? When they were signing the contract and then when they were doing this contract deal and starting to work on all this stuff, it was mainly like, what are you guys seeing? Because, in my opinion, correct me if I'm wrong, because you were, and I think still are to an extent, big Jimmy G guy. You like Jimmy. In my
He's sexy.
opinion, Purdy is just Jimmy with
Mhm.
a little bit more athleticism. And in my opinion, I think genuinely a weaker arm. I think Jimmy might have
Yeah,
a stronger arm than Purdy at this point in their
I was just gonna say that because they are very similar, similar build. Jimmy's a little bigger, and he does have a stronger arm. And I think he has obviously his faults,
career.
and I'm not saying he should even be a starter anywhere, but he did have some zip on his throws. I remember that, and even though the Super Bowl that they lost. I mean, he overthrew him, and that was pretty. That was a good little deep ball. I swear, I don't think Purdy could throw that far. Um, and if he does, it's with every single ounce of him. But yeah, he overall Purdy is definitely uh, a little more of an athletic, I guess you could say. But Jimmy also just liked to stay in the pocket because back then, even back when Jimmy was a starter, mobile QB play wasn't as big as it is now.
Yeah.
So I think that it just wasn't really like thought of. He was a pocket guy, and that's just kind of what a lot of people were built off of. Like, Tom Brady was still the guy doing it the right way. So I don't know.
Yeah, and bringing up the deep ball is a great point here. Is like we even saw it against this in this game, right? He threw his quote unquote deep ball to Ricky Pearsall. Ricky had to stop, turn around, and make a one handed grab, right? Like, and Purdy gets the credit for it because he's the quarterback. But at the end of the day, dude, that's just a hell of a grab by Ricky. Like,
Yeah.
he really is. And another thing we have to take onus of is, dude, Brock Purdy has hurt three receivers now. He blew out Brandon's knee with a hospital ball. He took out Jawan with that 2 point conversion. That, dude, if that's, I would literally say every other quarterback in the league, they would just put it on Jawan. You don't have
Yeah.
to three flags up the ball. And then you
Yeah.
have Ricky. A lot of people are like, well, he landed on his knee. He landed on his knee because he was trying to toe tap a pass 5 yards out of bounds.
Yeah.
Um, and so, the question is here, like, the Niners got to be regretting this contract already, right?
100%. I couldn't imagine. Yeah, and it sucks because I feel for the Niners organization, John Lynch, and obviously the fans because it's like I feel like they got a little too excited on signing him early and wanting somewhat of a deal because the market might go up next year and all that stuff. But it I just feel like it was a supply and demand issue. Like I don't feel like anyone was going to actively go out and try and pay Purdy what the Niners were going to. So I don't understand why they were. It's just like kind of giving away free money without like a demand for him at all.
Yeah.
So I don't maybe it's like a thank you for getting us to the Super Bowl kind of thing, but like even then, I mean 200, what is it, 65 or
Yeah. It
whatever.
was like, yeah, it's around there.
It's just like I mean Baker Mayfield is worth way more than Purdy is, and his contract is less than half of that. So
Yeah, I mean, and that's the big thing, man, is like when we were talking about his contract, we were really talking about like they should give him a Baker deal, if anything. And just kind of what you said. I don't think any other team would have given him the money that the Niners gave him.
mm,
I think it's a great story, which kind of helps as he's Mr. Irrelevant. But at this point, people can't really make the Mr. Irrelevant excuse anymore. He's making 260, $250 million. You
yeah,
can't really say, oh, well, he was Mr. Irrelevant. Well, now he's not. Now he's paid as a top 10 guy and he needs to be judged as such.
yeah.
And I would argue this year, since Christmas of 2023, I would argue he's a bottom 10 quarterback in the league. Where would you put him in the NFL since that game, Christmas of 2023?
Yeah, I mean, there was always that narrative of, him with the Avengers,
Yep.
and then we finally got the chance last year to see him without the Avengers. And if he can carry a team and kind of do what like a Mahomes can do and stuff like that, because he still had a pretty elite defense. And I and we saw piss poor QB play, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of bad interceptions. And people like to pull up the stats all the time, but I mean, stat padding is a real thing too. So it's just like I would put him I, as a starting quarterback right now. He's bottom 15. I mean, at least like he's not on the top half. That's for sure. Um,
Yeah. Like, all right, let's do a thought experiment, right? Let's see where we'd rank him right now. We're gonna go through everyone's starters and we'll
yeah,
say, would you take Brock or not? All right. So let's go. First
let's
one.
do it.
I'm just gonna go in order how ESPN has him. So Josh Allen or Brock Purdy. It's a
Um,
tough one.
uh, Come
I'm
on.
gonna have to take Josh Allen on that one.
Yes, sir.
All right, Drake May or Brock Purdy?
Drake May, of course.
I would take Drake May as well. Let's go Tua or Brock Purdy. This is the one I'd probably take Brock. I'm going to be honest with you.
I'm gonna take Brock because of his brain. I still think Tua has a little stronger arm, but I'd take Brock.
Okay. And this one, I already know your answer, and people are about to find out really quickly how you feel about this quarterback. Justin Fields or Brock Purdy?
Brock Purdy.
Yeah.
I need someone that can at least throw the ball.
Aaron Rodgers or Brock Purdy?
Rodgers.
Well, now it's Jake Browning, but let's go Burrow because obviously Browning isn't their starter. I'm going to obviously take. Let's just skip Bengals and Ravens. I think we'll. It's safe to say we will take Burrow and Lamar over him.
We can remove the top 5.
What about the Browns quarterback? Any of them? Dylan Gabriel, Shadur Sanders, or Joe Flacco? Would you take any of them?
I would take Joe Flacco over Brock Purdy.
All right. I would probably take Purdy over Browns quarterbacks at the moment. I haven't seen enough of them.
Yeah.
Daniel Jones on the Indianapolis Colts.
Come on.
I'm taking DJ.
Indianapolis Colts, dude. Come on, let's go.
All right.
Yeah, D.
All right. Trevor Lawrence or Brock Purdy?
Trevor Lawrence.
We had a lot of people saying that Brock Purdy played better offensively than Trevor Lawrence this week. What are your thoughts on that one?
I think I've actually kind of done a little bit more diving into Trevor Lawrence this year too, especially. I don't know. That's actually a tough one because he does get a lot. He still has a lot of drops on his end.
Yeah.
From receivers. Brock's a little bit more higher IQ, I feel like. So that's actually a tough one.
But here's the hard part, right? Is usually you'd go, well, Brock decision making, but his decision making has been awful. So it's like Trevor Lawrence. I'm just gonna go off of upside, right? Like,
yeah. Well, and like how much of it is just Kyle saying hit your second read or hit your first read, like like with scheming it the way he is and having guys over the middle. Trevor Lawrence doesn't have anyone over the middle like Brock does, so it's like it's all either sideline or bubble screens.
So now this one might be a little controversial. But CJ Stroud or Brock Purdy? CJ has been struggling insanely the last year and a half as well.
Yeah. CJ's obviously hasn't been good. I would take CJ still because his O line is just so garbage right now.
Yeah, his O line is pretty scarily bad. Like that's
It's
a health
just
hazard.
yeah. So I
Yeah.
mean, Brock would get crushed on that in that
I
O
I
line.
I, I would probably. I don't think CJ's that good, but I would probably take him over Brock at this point.
Yeah.
I mean, Cam Ward or Brock, I would probably take Brock just because you can't really see how good Cam Ward is with how bad this team is, man. He's throwing
Yeah.
50% completion. Like, he
Yeah.
looks awful, but his team is just awful. Who would you take?
Yeah. I haven't seen enough.
Yeah.
He's kind of up and down. He makes some hero plays that he doesn't really need to make.
Mm-hmm.
So that doesn't make him necessarily elite. Uh, yeah, I think I'd take Purdy over Cam right
Yeah.
now.
All right. Herbert, Mahomes, again, obviously
Yeah.
not taking Purdy over them. Bo Nix, Purdy comp.
I would take Bo Nix. I mean,
Bo Nix.
seeing him huck a almost 70 air yard ball is pretty.
Yeah, I would
That was
say
enough.
Bo Nix has been having a rough year this year, but you want to know who's it's better than so far? It's Brock Purdy. So we're gonna go with Bo Nix. And now final team in their division is the Raiders. So Geno Smith or Brock Purdy. This is one I'll probably also take Purdy.
I would take Purdy. I would actually take Geno. I'm not gonna lie. I'd take Geno only because I watched, Jimmy struggle even harder on the Raiders.
We'll tell you right now, Geno leads the league with 7 interceptions. He is throwing those puppies like crazy.
It is bad. I don't know if that's offensive play calling or what, but he did have a spectacular Seattle year.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's a tough one.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'd probably take Purdy over Geno. I think Geno's awful.
Yeah.
All right, Jalen Hurts or Purdy. I think at this point, Jalen Hurts, in my opinion, has separated himself from Purdy. I think he is.
Yeah.
I think he is very much like Purdy, but I think he's just a little bit better.
Yeah. He just has a better system, but I mean, pretty much the same. He has a little bit of a stronger arm, I feel like, too.
Yeah, and his athleticism is just miles ahead.
Yeah.
Jaden Daniels or Brock Purdy.
JD5.
Dak Prescott or Brock Purdy.
Dak Prescott.
Yeah, these are pretty easy for me. Now, the swag master himself, we're going to talk about him in a little bit, but Jaxson Dart or Brock Purdy.
Man, his aura is just crazy. He wasn't throwing the ball that well, but I mean, it's his first game.
Yeah.
He kind of has a little bit of like, it factor so far. I mean, it's just a little spark of something that we can see in the future, but I don't know. Yeah, that's one game.
I'm taking Jaxson Dart over Brock Purdy. I'm not afraid to say it. I'm not afraid to say it. Jared Goff. Jared Goff has been going nuts this year.
Yeah. See, my biggest problem with Goff was obviously, his throwing in general, which is kind of weird because you'd think it wouldn't be that bad. But after that touch he put on that ball to ice the game, that was clutch.
Yeah, Jared Goff's got his arm talent is so much better than Brock. It's not even close.
Yeah.
Jordan Love or Brock Purdy. As much as I think Jordan Love is overrated, I'm going to take him over Brock Purdy.
Yeah.
To be completely honest.
Yeah.
I definitely think he's overrated, but yeah. Vikings. I would take Brock Purdy over the Vikings quarterbacks, over JJ McCarthy.
JJ McCarthy might be one of the worst.
Yeah, he's bad.
Starting quarterbacks I've ever seen in my life.
And you liked him at Michigan, but yeah, he is.
I did.
He is not very good. And now your favorite quarterback in the league, Caleb Williams or Brock Purdy. I don't think this one's really close. I'm going to be honest.
Yeah. I had my doubts, though. I had my doubts for
And if
while.
anyone in here is about to say Caleb Williams' decision-making again, I implore you to look at Brock Purdy's decision-making since Caleb Williams has been a starter.
Yeah, that's true.
Big Baker Mayfield or a king himself or Brock Purdy.
Baker Clutch Mayfield, man. Come on.
Yeah, hell yeah. Michael Penix, I'm going to take Brock. I think Penix is atrocious.
Yeah. Penix sucks. I'd take Brock over him too. Yeah.
Bryce Young or Brock Purdy?
Man, they are similar. I don't know. It's like I'm trying to picture Brock like on the Panthers, and
I
I
don't
just
think you'd
know.
hear his name ever if he was on the Panthers.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to like really accurately compare these two. Like, what would he look like on that Panthers team? And it would look pretty atrocious.
Yeah, I'd take Bryce Young. I think
I, I think yeah. I
Bryce has a
mean,
stronger arm. He's skinnier and shorter, but he has a better arm.
yeah. I mean, just like I would say Brock would have had a stronger arm, but those three injuries he's had so far is just you've seen the arm strength
Oh,
just
dude, yeah,
diminish.
his arm's cooked.
I'll take Bryce. Why not?
And then my boy Spencer Rattler or Brock Purdy.
Spence.
I'm taking Spence any day of the week, aura
I'll take
wise,
Spencer.
arm wise. I mean, he
Yeah.
should have beat us. I'm going to be honest. He should have beat us. All right,
Yeah.
now Brock Purdy's old backup, Sam Darnold or Brock Purdy.
Sam. I mean, he's actually shown that he's actually pretty elite.
Now I know who you're going to choose here: Matt Stafford or Brock Purdy. I think this one's another obvious one.
Yeah.
We're going to go
Stafford
with
to me is top 5.
And then finally, the final quarterback in the NFL is Kyler Murray or Brock Purdy. I am taking Kyler.
Yeah, me too.
Just saying.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think we both placed Purdy bottom 10. I'm pretty sure because I think, let me see. So the only ones we'd take Purdy over would be Fields, Tua, Browns. You didn't, but I picked Browns.
Yeah.
Cam, Gino. Wow, Vikings. Yeah, we had him right at like the 10th spot, the 10th worst quarterback in the league, pretty much. I think you had him a little bit lower. I think you had him 9.
The only reason I'd take Joe Flacco is because I just picture Flacco in Shanahan's offense, and he would just sling it better.
Okay.
For what he's asked for.
Yeah, I mean, my biggest thing is just turnovers. I hate turnovers, and Flacco loves to turn it over.
He does.
But that's enough Brock Purdy bullying. We'll get to the rest of the Niners when we talk about the Rams game. But let's go with someone we were just talking about, Caleb Williams. He is silently having a very, very much improved year. Yes, he beat the Cowboys defense, which is not good. And yes, he beat the Raiders defense, which is not good. But he is throwing for a 62% completion percentage, which, again, not great, but we'll take it with Caleb. He's throwing 8 touchdowns to only 2 interceptions. He has fumbled twice, but he hasn't lost them. And I think he is silently having I feel like he's going up. He had a really good start to that Vikings game and then played some of the worst fourth quarter football I've ever seen. He had a pretty rough Lions showing, but his team was also getting belt to ass. And then he played well against the Cowboys, and now he played well against the Raiders. I know you're a big Caleb guy. What kind of is your thought process seeing Caleb and Ben Johnson? Like, we all knew Ben Johnson's complicated offense would be either A, impossible for Caleb to pick up, or be really hard for him to pick up. Looks like they're picking it up.
Yeah, he man, I think I think him letting go of the hero ball and the play action rollout to, sidearm off platform darts that he is so used to throwing at USC is something that he's I think finally having like a final breakup with. He'll do it if he has to.
Yeah.
But my biggest thing is, and people are seeing this all over, and I see clips of it, is just the zip he has on these balls. Like he has a top 3 arm strength. He has more arm strength than Lamar Jackson does.
His arm strength's crazy.
It's crazy. I would put like Josh Allen, like honestly, Josh Allen, Justin Herbert, and then I would say Caleb Williams on strictly zip on the ball. He's got a top 3 arm in that thing, and I think he needs to be more of a system guy, and I think that he's turning into that, and that's what he needs for right now, and it's working. So, man, I was losing hope, but here we are. I'm excited that it didn't go that way.
Yeah, Caleb's looking a lot better. I won't say he's looking great. It still is looking like he needs They definitely need a running back. I said this when they picked up DeAndre Swift. I thought it was awful.
Yeah,
Um,
horrible.
and I also think they need to get Luther Burden a lot more involved. He's been really good when he's on the field.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's looking a lot better than
Hmm.
it did, and I'm happy to see it with Caleb. I think he has a
Yeah.
lot of talent. I think he really needed a coach,
Hmm.
because I was saying a lot last year when he was drafted that he was a development project. A lot of people didn't see him as they saw him as this pro ready. He's going to get out there and ball, and he just wasn't. Lincoln Riley prospects aren't normally. You saw it with Kyler. Baker Mayfield needed some time to adjust. Um,
Even right now with that how do you say it, Maliov, or however you say his last name, the USC
oh,
quarterback right
yeah,
now,
yeah, yeah, yeah. Maeva or something.
Maeva, yeah, or
Yeah,
some
something like
Maeva, something like that.
yeah,
Yeah, Lincoln is good with off platform, but yeah, the in structure stuff he needs to work on because
yeah.
a lot of these guys can't do that.
So we just had to give Caleb Williams his flowers, man. And another guy we want to give some flowers to right now is Jaxson Dart, dude. Jaxson Dart went out, and albeit, yes, Justin Herbert had zero offensive line against one of the, I would say the Giants have like a top 5 defensive line in the NFL. They don't have much good, but that defensive line is disgusting.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, and Herbert doesn't have Slater or now Joe Alt,
yeah,
so
so he's missing everyone, but
yeah,
Jaxson Dart played well. He didn't play. He played winning football. I'll give him that.
he
He
did.
didn't do anything crazy. He had a couple really nice runs.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you're a Giants fan, you kind of got to be excited, right? Scatabo's popping off. Jaxson Dart's looking at least decent. It's Chargers
Yeah.
defense is great.
Hmm.
Um, I mean, how do you feel? I know you and I liked Jaxson Dart a lot. What are you kind of thinking when you see Jaxson Dart popping off like this?
You nailed it. I mean, winning football, it wasn't pretty, and he even kind of admits that in a presser.
Yeah.
But what I did notice on his mobility is that he's making those, like, it's kind of like a Mahomes thing where it's like Mahomes isn't as fast as Justin Fields or Jalen Hurts, but he's doing it at the right times
Yeah.
and he's getting those crucial thirds
Yeah.
that he needs to get. And that's what I saw. That was the most exciting that I saw. His throws were not that good. It's a little
Hmm.
off target, but I feel like that will kind of just come. I love that, like, it factor mobility when you need to, even if he doesn't look the most mobile and the most
Yeah.
athletic. Was given a little. It was a little Mahomey, so I like that,
Yeah.
and I like that he has a little chip on his shoulder too, which is cool.
Yeah. No, I think he looked good, and I mean he lost Malik Neighbors in like he was the first or second quarter. And
So
that's going to
bad.
be rough, man. He doesn't have much to work with. He didn't have much to work with Malik Neighbors. Now he
Yeah.
really doesn't. He's got Wendell Robinson, Darius Slayton to throw to. Obviously, you have Scatabo, but Scatabo's, he's good. His aura is a lot better than his play. Um,
Yeah.
you
I
know,
like Scatabo more for actually blocking.
yeah,
If you watch the run game or, any play action, when they need a blocker, dude, he goes
yeah,
full force CTE and all.
yeah. No, I like him. Like he is a brute, man. He really is. He's like a
Yeah.
fullback. He reminds me of Juice Check. Like that's who I always
Yep.
compared him to. And when everyone was talking about the Niners drafting him, I was like, oh, he'd be like the 2025 version of Juice Check,
Yep.
the modern day fullback where he's kind of a running back, but he's kind of not. But yeah, man, I love
Yeah.
Jaxson Dart. I love that. So let's get into what we're seeing right now. Best teams in the NFL right now. We're 4 weeks in. It's obviously early. We're 5 weeks in, actually, as of tomorrow. We got a
Yeah.
lot of really good teams shaping up. We got a lot of, fraudulent undefeated teams shaping up.
Yeah.
So kind of who are you seeing around the league that you're really impressed with? Who are you seeing around the league that you're like, damn, they should be hitting the panic button? What are your thoughts right now about the NFL in general?
I'm seeing a 2024 Vikings run with the Colts.
Mhm.
I see that, but I think they're a little bit less fraudulent because of their defense.
Mm-hmm.
And DJ just kind of putting the ball where he needs to. He's playing good point guard.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think they're a good team. I think what sucks is the Chiefs look good again. They look like, after all the injuries subside from all the other good teams that we saw kind of coming out, it's like,
Yeah.
they're going to be the ones at the end ready to go.
Yeah.
It's brutal.
Yeah.
Um, and like what sucks is like I was really gunning for the Chargers this year, and it's such a letdown. I hope they can kind of keep pulling together, but without Alt and Slater, I don't see how they're going to be too well going into the
Yeah.
next.
They're really in a rough spot at this point without
Yeah.
Slater or Alt. Their big off-season signing, Mekhi Becton from the Eagles on the
Mhm.
offensive line, he's also hurt. They're really feeling it right now on the offensive line front. I think, in
Yeah.
my opinion, the Bills are my obvious favorite in the AFC.
Of course.
I think the Bills just look really good. They haven't played a bunch of competition, but I mean, they had
Yeah.
a crazy comeback against the Ravens. The
Yep.
Ravens are kind of my panic button team because you're hearing now Lamar Jackson may be out for a couple weeks.
Yep.
Which you're looking at. I mean, they play the Texans and the Rams. Those aren't easy teams if he's out 2 weeks. You're looking at a 1-5 start.
Yeah, I think there's a little bit of protection on Lamar. I think they kind of know they're hitting the panic button and they don't want to injure him too badly because of they're just not there this year. And the Bills are the only ones that I feel like could beat the Chiefs in the postseason.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, panic button for sure on them as well.
Yeah, I think, and yeah, like you were saying, the AFC right now, I really like the Colts, man. I think the Colts look really good. They're just a well-rounded, all three-phase football team. Danny Dimes,
Yes.
everyone's kind of waiting for the other hat to drop. I don't think it will, man. I think he played well. He played against the Rams and struggled pretty heavily. But I gotta blame a lot of that. Adonai Mitchell, the game would be tied if he didn't just celebrate.
Yeah.
So we're looking at a completely different game. But yeah, I really like the Colts. I think they look really good in the AFC. And then, yeah, man, the Chargers, it's going to just be how much can you hold on to while Alt's injured. You really need Alt back. You really need Becton back. And then I'll
Yeah.
say this, my biggest, in my opinion, fraud team, it kind of works that Trey's not on this show, is the Steelers. They are this is crazy to say, the Steelers are in the worst division in the
Yeah.
NFL, I'd say right now. They are playing against Jake Browning, Cooper Rush, Joe Flacco / Dylan Gabriel.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
they get to play them, and they get to play next week. They're playing Dylan Gabriel's first start is against the Steelers. Then after that, they're playing Jake Browning.
Yeah.
Like, they're going to pull away, man.
Well, the thing too is, the sad part is I feel like they're just right back to where they always are, right? Like pretty solid regular season. Yeah. You get wins, they win games, but I just feel like once they enter postseason, like I just still feel like they don't have enough.
Well, it's because none of these wins are really convincing, right? Like the Jets was a last-second drive, and we're seeing how bad the Jets are.
Oh, yeah.
The Seahawks slapped them in the mouth. And then the Patriots, again, it was another last-minute drive. And then the Vikings, again, they almost blew a 24-6 lead in the fourth quarter almost.
Yeah.
And dude, you just, like, they're not looking like they're ready to win as people think. And they're a very old team. They are very old.
And I'm a Raj guy. I'm an Aaron Rodgers guy. He has lost zip on that ball.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
He has lost, and a lot of it is that back foot thing. So, yes, throwing off the back foot, Josh Allen, Jordan Love is really good at it, obviously, but they have young, good arms. So, Aaron Rodgers did have that at one point, but he has lost it. So I
Well, and
see
also he tore his Achilles, so he doesn't have a lot of push or plant. I
exactly.
forgot
And
what leg it was, but
yeah, your feet are so important in your throwing mechanics, and he has lost zip. And I think a lot of that factors into, late throws and or just, if he's throwing over the middle, they're not getting any yak with that because the ball
mm,
isn't getting to him as quickly. So
yeah.
I've noticed that, which sucks, but it is what it is.
I mean, yeah, he's in his 40s,
Father time.
man. He's he's
Yeah.
he's it's time. And so
Yeah.
now talking like pivoting over to the NFC, right? And this is where it gets a little bit more wiry. You got the Eagles at the top, 4-0. Drew Brees said this morning that he does not think the Eagles are the best team in the NFL because they're barely beating teams. In my opinion, they beat the Chiefs and they kind of handled them for the most part. Um,
They are the
they
most buttoned up team.
the Rams didn't score after their touchdown in the third. They scored 7 points in the second half. And that was an early touchdown too. So it's pretty much the entire second half they did not score. And the Eagles just ran through them to come back. That's the other team that's threatening them. And then the Buccaneers, yeah, again, they just kind of it got a little bit,
Mike Evans is out.
hairy, but yeah, I mean, the Eagles, in my opinion, are still the best team in the NFL. They look good. Their offense obviously does not. I'm very interested to see them play the Lions because after week 1, the Lions have kind of just beat the shit out of every single team they have played.
Man, the Lions are right there with the Eagles. I think if anyone's gonna take the Eagles on, it'll be the Lions as long as they stay healthy, man.
Dude, I thought the Lions were going to be bad this year. So I thought this
too.
division was going to be number 1 Packers, number 2 Bears, number 3 Lions, number 4 Vikings.
Yeah.
And bro, the Lions are slaughtering people. They have the highest point differential in the NFL. And that's after, again, getting tuned up week 1. These guys, they got to be, in my opinion, I think the Lions are even better than the Bills.
Yeah, I think this is the scary part with the Bills. I'm a Bills guy.
Yeah.
And I want them to get their shot at a Super Bowl ring. I just, they have a very easy schedule. And then on top of that, they always look, every year they look so dominant. And then all of a sudden they get into the postseason, still look as good as they do. But then you pair them up with good teams and it just doesn't, they just can't get it. They can't get over that hill. And I think a lot of it is just too Josh Allen reliant.
Yeah,
but,
for sure.
It's not as structured as an Eagles or any good NFC team like the Lions.
And here's another thing, right? So I'm going to pivot to another team, and I know this is going to come off super biased, but I genuinely think the Niners are one of the best teams in the league. And let me plead my case.
I agree with you.
They are first in their division. Yes, sure, they played the Seahawks, Saints, Cardinals, and Jags, and they had a bad game against Jags. Dude, they are doing this with the most injuries in the NFL again.
Yep.
And they're going to get BA back. They're going to get Purdy back. They're going to get George Kittle back. The only one I'm worried about is Christian McCaffrey because this dude has touched the ball every play as much as my quarterback. This is scary. But, I mean, dude, we got to give the Niners flowers for what they have been doing with the injuries.
This goes back to good franchises. And the Niners are a great franchise, and they're buttoned up. And injuries are a thing. I think that's just bad luck too, to be honest. I think you blame the conditioning coaches and all that, but I think they just, it's a buttoned up team. And if I were the Niners, I would only use McCaffrey for the postseason. I would keep him in the shadows in this regular season, win as many games as you can, and then have him just be like, just go on a stretch in these playoffs. Go on a stretch, do your thing, and hide him a little bit. Like everyone can just, bad talk him. Christian McCaffrey's he's old and all this stuff.
But that's the thing is, where are you going to get the production from? Like they haven't really had, outside of Pearsall, who's probably hurt Thursday, the production's been really hard to get for the Niners outside of the defense.
Yeah.
By the way, Robert Saleh needs a lifetime contract. If he leaves this franchise, we're back to screwed.
He's been killing on the defensive.
But that's the thing is, I think they would love to save McCaffrey, but
yeah,
it's hard. I posed this question.
Right now.
So I've posed this question to everyone I've done a show with so far. So Grant, Trey. Now I'm going to ask you. In my opinion, having an elite running back is more important to Kyle Shanahan than having an elite quarterback. I think he would rather have Bijan Robinson than Josh Allen. What do you think?
Well, absolutely. I mean, look at Josh Jacobs. This is a very running back centered league right now. Saquon kind of made the statement with that. I mean, Shanahan's system has been proven that you can plug and play at quarterback pretty well. Mac Jones is showing that.
I mean, look at Purdy when Christian McCaffrey was an offensive player of the year.
Exactly.
Dude was an MVP candidate somehow.
Exactly. You're dead on with that. I think having a running back with his scheme and play call is just crucial. And it sucks because they have to use McCaffrey right now because they have no one else. So it's like, what do you do?
And so here's kind of my posing question. We all know the Niners need to trade for a pass rusher. A lot of people are saying Trey Hendrickson. I personally think Kayvon Thibodeau from the Giants because he's younger, cheaper, etc. So pass rusher aside, what would you think? Do you think the Niners should get aggressive at the trade deadline for a running back? They traded for Brian Robinson, and he has not looked very good. Or do you think the Niners should try and loop in their other running backs that they haven't yet? Isaac Guerendo, Jordan James, who's a rookie they just drafted this year. Like, what do you think is kind of the answer for them? Because their run game is awful. And that, as we've just said, their entire offense is predicated off of this run game being successful. So how do we fix it?
I don't think Guerendo's that bad.
Mm-hmm.
I would be a little bit more reliant on him. He's kind of proven some of his flowers last year, I felt like.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, I would plug and play him. I would run him to the ground, as sad as that is. And then I would use CMC for the trick plays at the end of the season.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I definitely think, and I think the biggest thing with CMC is his burst isn't what it was. And Guerendo is fast as hell. Jordan James is quick as hell. Jordan James has a lot of burst. He's not fast, but he's got a lot of burst.
Yeah.
I think it's really time to start rotating in these guys. And I would even want to see them get reps over Brian Robinson. Brian Robinson just I think he doesn't have, like, Brian Robinson's a bruiser. He doesn't really have the burst to do what we need him to do. We obviously have two quarterbacks. Actually, they've both played 2 games. Do you want to hear the stats for Mac Jones and Brock Purdy?
I'd love to hear the stats.
So Mac Jones has a better completion percentage. He is at 66.3%. Brock Purdy's 65.8%. They have the same amount of touchdowns at 4. And Mac Jones has 3 less interceptions.
And Mac Jones played, I feel like, a little bit better teams, if I'm mistaken.
Mac played the Saints and the Cardinals. So I wouldn't say better, but like, and let's go this. Everyone freaks out. Well, Mac Jones isn't mobile enough. Mac Jones has only been sacked 2 more times than Purdy.
Purdy's been holding on to the ball.
Yeah, and Purdy's lost more sack yardage than Mac.
Purdy I remember in 23, he would just sling it right away. He has lost that. He's holding on to the ball, and he's trying to be what he's getting paid to be, I feel like.
Yeah.
Which is hurting him.
Yes, I agree. I think he needs to think of, I need to be what Jared Goff is doing. I need to just get my system, trust my playmakers, and get rid of the football. Yep. And obviously, he doesn't have as strong of an arm as Jared Goff, and he doesn't have an Amon-Ra St. Brown or a Jahmyr Gibbs. But same policy applies. He does have a George Kittle.
Yeah.
And now, with that said, I mean, we got Rams-Niners tomorrow. The Rams are 7-point favorites, and it just keeps going up. What are your predictions? Apparently, Mac Jones, Ricky Pearsall, Juwan Jennings, and Brock Purdy look like they are most likely going to be out for that football game. In my
Wait, so
opinion,
Purdy's not playing, right?
Purdy is apparently not playing. All
Okay.
signs are pointing to him not playing. We don't know for sure, though, whether he is playing or not.
I'm not saying this is a lock on the Rams. I know this kind of comes to surprise, but I don't know. I feel like if Stafford has his moments, if he kind of has one of those bad games that he has had in the past, I
Yeah.
don't. And if Mac Jones balls out, I don't see how it would be this deadlock with
Mm-hmm.
the Rams. But I do, past few years, I think has it been? I don't know if it started in 23, but I mean, Sean McVay's kind of been putting it to Shanahan. So I don't know. I just don't think it's a lock though. I think that is I feel like it'll be a close game.
Yeah, I mean they should have beat the Rams last year, and then Purdy threw a really good pick. Or no,
Yeah.
that was the Ronnie Bell game. Sorry, no,
Or
Ronnie
yeah,
Bell dropped
yeah,
a wide open touchdown.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna say this: if Mac Jones has to go out there without Pearsall, without Juwan, that's a tough ask.
Yeah.
Um,
Pearsall's
I
out for sure.
No, Pearsall is not out for sure. He is. It's not looking good for him though. And Juwan has like 4 injuries, so it's not looking good for him because it's a short week.
Yeah.
So they may rest him and for the season. But I will say this: I think games like this are trap games for other teams. Right? It's a divisional game, so it's already got higher stakes.
Yeah.
But games like this, where the Rams are on a short week too. And if they go in there like, all right, maybe let's conserve some energy because the Niners are so injured. This could be a trap game, and it could
Yeah.
end up biting them in the ass and making it be like, ooh, maybe the Niners got a chance. I mean, if I will say this, now this is a question I wanted to ask about this game. If Mac goes in there without Ricky Pearsall, without Juwan Jennings, and wins this football game, we got to have a conversation about the quarterback position, right?
If he goes toe to toe with Matthew Stafford and and there's no obvious bad luck scenario on the Ram side, goes out there and even if it's a very close game and the numbers can back it up to some degree, absolutely. I mean, I think that doesn't he like Mac Jones?
Apparently Kyle wanted Mac Jones in 21, but they traded up, and the front office would have been absolutely furious if they traded up for a quarterback they could have stayed and gotten at 11. That's why they took Trey Lance.
Okay. Yeah. So I wish I was a fly on the wall in those meetings. I would love to hear what Kyle says about this quarterback situation because he is a pretty guy too though. So I mean, but it's so obvious. It's just like even just a strict eye test. Like Purdy has lost a lot of any of his pros that he
Dude,
had in 23.
I'm telling you. So I have a conspiracy theory. Follow me here. I don't think Kyle wanted to extend Purdy. I think the front office has been desperate because the Niners have been trying to find a franchise quarterback for 25 years.
Yeah.
They think they found one, and they signed Purdy. And I don't think Kyle, I'm not going to say he wasn't on board, but I don't think Kyle was like championing, like, we need to sign Purdy to this massive contract. I don't think Kyle was doing that. What do you think?
I agree, and I think they have a little bit of PTSD with the Jimmy G situation where they are like, we have this guy. He's not the greatest, but he's been winning us games and getting us in the postseason. And they decided to take the high risk, high reward route with Trey Lance. They whiffed on that, and then now they're kind of in a similar situation once again, where they have this similar Jimmy G-esque type of QB that's also got them to a Super Bowl, almost like identical stats too.
Identical.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
And they were like, let's not do what we did last time. and let's extend him. What we kind of maybe should have done with Jimmy G, whether you think that was the right decision or not.
Yeah.
And I just feel like it was a scared signing. I feel like it was a very nerve wracking, like, oh, all right, let's do it.
Yeah.
I don't think they were super excited about it.
Yeah. I
And
agree.
yeah.
And I will say, from what I've heard, in my inner circles, after seeing Mac at training camp, the Niners were very much like, maybe we shouldn't have signed Purdy after seeing Mac, because they started realizing, wait, he can do the same things Purdy can do, if not better.
Yeah.
So, in my opinion, man, I think if Matt goes out there and he gets in a shootout with Matt Stafford and he comes out on top with the amount of injuries he has had and doesn't turn the ball over like Brock has been, in my opinion, I don't think it'll be a benching, but it'll be, we're going to let Purdy's toe heal. That's what it'll be.
Yeah. And I always wonder, this is where I would want to be a fly on the wall in these big meetings too, because I always wonder, like, is it ego or is it what's best for the team? Like do we just, take it on the chin and do what's best for the team and put the right guy in despite giving someone this huge contract? Or do we say, no, we must follow through with this contract despite losing games or whatever?
Yeah.
Because we didn't, we're paying him so much money. It's like that is probably one of the hardest decisions I feel like they have to make in these,
and I
these
think
meetings.
I think the Broncos set the blueprint. You need to look at what they did.
Yes.
And remember that. They said, dude, Russ isn't it. It sucks. That's a lot of money. Yep. But we need to just eat it and be gone. Like, absolutely. It sucks. We fucked up, but we got to move forward. Like, and I think that's what, and again, this is completely hypothetical, but if Mac Jones goes out there and beats the Rams, you cannot put, in good conscience, put Brock Purdy back in. You can't.
Well, here's the thing too. With Kyle, his play calling, you need zip because it's tight windows, it's over the middle, it's a lot of quick reads. I gotta get that ball quickly to, even with Debo back in the day, I mean, Debo's there,
last year
recently, but like you need quick point A to point B yak, right? And Purdy at the time was very accurate, but he had loft, and I feel like you don't, like you only need like loft on those balls if you're playing a Matt LaFleur, throwing deeper than 25 plus yards, usually on a lot of throws. I think it's more of a point guard feel and you need more zip. And zip is what I've seen. Like this year, the trend seems to be a lot of like you need zip on those balls.
A lot of players, like you said, a lot of teams are moving towards a running offense. So they're playing a lot of play action, which means you're getting people to bite early and you're getting space early. So you need to be able to turn around and hit a tight window and get the ball out as quickly as possible. And another thing I liked about Mac is on 4th and 2, Kyle called a go ball. I don't think I have seen Kyle call a 4th down go ball since he's been on the Niners. Like, I genuinely cannot recall the last time it was 4th down, not in a Hail Mary situation. And Kyle's like, you know what? I trust this guy. I'm calling a go ball. And it was a backup. He has not once done that with Purdy because Purdy can't hit it. But
I think that's your answer, right? Like, I think like that's the subtle, SOS help me note, or just your lack of trust. I mean, Purdy can't throw a go ball with a clean pocket that. I mean, with an already weak arm with injuries on top of it, it just is like, it is what it is.
And here's the thing too, is everyone makes these excuses, right? Like, oh, well, Purdy's not doing it this year. It's his accuracy's off because of his toe. Well, last year's accuracy was off.
Yeah.
After the Ravens game, his accuracy was off. His accuracy is just not that good.
Well,
And
the thing,
it's
yeah.
and they're like,
Sorry.
oh, he's floating passes. It's like, bro, he's been floating passes. He's never not floated passes.
Yep.
The dude's had a significant, like, people are like mind blown that Mr. Irrelevant is bad. Like,
I know. Yeah. And the floating passes thing worked when in 23 because he was getting it out quicker. So yeah, he's floating the passes, but they were working because it was a hike and go. And
yeah, it's on time.
he would throw with anticipation. So it's like obviously, those balls can work, but when you sit in the pocket and you're trying to like, do I scramble, do I not, and then throw a floater, dude, the play's dead.
Yeah.
That's turning into an interception.
And that's the biggest thing is that, and his decision making has just been atrocious. His decision making has been, and that was one of the big things was he didn't turn the ball over. But I remember, because Garrett and I have known each other for a while, we always talked. I used to say all the time, dude, this dude is blessed by Jesus Christ himself. If you have watched how many drop interceptions he has had, his first year, and in 2023, I was literally everyone that was a Purdy fan. I was like, bro, you guys are ignoring how many times this dude hits DBs in the hands with the football. And the difference is they're not dropping them anymore.
No.
They're catching them. And now it's like, where'd this come from? It has always been there. It's been there since he came in the league.
Yeah, it's he was getting pretty lucky, and I feel like even like if you watch, some of the main media, Nick Wright kind of guys, he brought it back and he was like, I remember those games despite the good stats and the week 6 and week 7s. I remember those ugly interceptions in crucial points, and you just cannot like that.
Dude, last year he was everyone will point we had the worst red zone defense. Sure. We also had the worst fourth quarter quarterback in the NFL.
Yep.
He was the worst.
Worse than Justin Fields.
He was awful.
Yep.
Like they were blowing leads left and right. And sure, you could say red zone defense. Purdy was also throwing costly interceptions.
Yep.
Like it's just not looking good. I think if I'm Mac Jones, bro, I am coming in tomorrow with so much juice. I am thinking tomorrow is my Super Bowl. Because if you go in and you beat the Rams, bro, with all of these injuries, you might have just – actually, no, not might have. You 1,000% just got yourself a starting NFL job, whether it's on the Niners or somewhere else.
Yeah.
You got a job, period.
Sam Darnold situation for sure. I think like you go out there and prove yourself, you will get a contract. He was a Pro Bowler.
Yes.
With the Patriots. The Patriots were nothing special like that year. So I mean, I feel like he has a right to fight, and even if that's taking Purdy's job, I mean, do what's best for the 49ers.
Yep. And this is the thing. Mac Jones' biggest thing, everyone has always said, oh man, Mac Jones' arm is so weak. And it is significantly stronger than Brock Purdy. That's how bad Brock Purdy's arm is every issue with Mac Jones coming into the league since being in the league was his arm is so weak, bro, and his arm is so much noticeably stronger.
Yep. And it's even when Purdy's feet are planted and he's got a full clean pocket of zipping that ball, it is just – and okay, here's another thing too that I've really gone a deep dive on because obviously I study the quarterback position the most, and I actually even work with a quarterback coach. And a lot of it, and people don't even see this, is his grip. So his grip, he holds it really high up on the ball, right?
Well, it's because shorter, smaller hands.
Tears up your shoulder. Not only like if you have huge hands, like Matthew Stafford and I think Caleb Williams are the two that do the same grip as Purdy. And Stafford
they both have smaller.
Hands.
Oh, Caleb doesn't. Caleb has smaller ones as well.
Yeah. Caleb has small hands too. And he just happens to have a strong arm, so it kind of just, you can overpower it. But that grip tears up your shoulder. And I feel like it has a lot to do with his, the weakness that he's getting on that ball. And like Bryce Young doesn't have the biggest hands either. He has a weaker arm, smaller stature. But if you hold it the traditional way,
Mm-hmm.
It's less on the shoulder because you're holding it with your fingertips.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're holding it that high up on the ball, you're putting more into your shoulder to keep that straight. It spirals better, but like I said, it's the weight distribution on the
It's the
ball.
same grip as Jimmy. Jimmy has it. Trey Lance was working with his quarterback coach to implement it.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, Purdy, dude, his arm strength is not NFL caliber. I'm sorry, there's no way you could watch him throw and think, because a lot of people try and compare him to Drew Brees. Drew Brees' arm was not that weak.
No.
Was it as strong as Peyton Manning? No. But
No.
when the dude would throw 15 to 25 yards like Purdy does, bro, those balls were laser beams. They were in your chest. He would bury them into your chest. It wasn't these floaters that would just kind of list.
Floaters over the middle too.
Yeah.
Floaters on a 10 and a out. Like,
Yeah.
dude, a 10 and out, you need to get that in his hands so he can continue running up the sideline on that.
Yeah.
Like there's no, or those deep, like even those deep ends, when I see that, I'm just like, dude, you're floating that over the middle. And I'm surprised. I'm honestly very surprised he has not gotten more of his weapons hurt, even like last year.
I mean, his
year
starting
before.
three are, I mean, actually, his four biggest weapons are hurt. B.A., George,
Yeah.
Ricky, and Juwan.
Yeah.
Now, George wasn't his fault, but the other three were.
Yep.
And
If you're gonna throw hospital balls, you have to have zip because it gives them time to get down.
yeah,
Or
you need to throw them to the ground. Purdy puts them in the air.
It's remarkable, man. And he's still gotten some fair luck on his side for Ricky catching that ball that was severely underthrown.
Oh, dude, that and then Jawan's where he went up 15 feet in the air, and they're like, wow, what a throw, brother. If he throws that to a 6'1" receiver, that's picked off.
100%. And the one in the end zone too, the one that was behind that Jawan ended up getting hurt on.
Yeah, that was awful.
Like that was horribly placed.
Yeah, and the one and the one people are blaming CMC for, dog, that was a awful decision and an awful throw. You can say till you're blue in the face, well, he's got to come down with it. No, he doesn't. He's a running back stretching as much as he can to try and catch a ball that should just be here.
Your job as an NFL quarterback that's making hundreds of millions of dollars, you need to know how to place that on the back shoulder, leading them into there's so many, it's not just get it to him in the numbers. He's not even getting it to them in the numbers. He's getting it to them where they have to make an aggressive play that now risks their injury.
Yeah. And that's a big thing, man, is he's just he's not accurate. And the biggest thing with the difference between Jimmy and Purdy was Jimmy would always throw it too low. Jimmy would always throw it at the ground. Now Purdy's throwing it to Jesus Christ. And we need Mac Jones level where it's just there. Sure, does Mac miss throws? Yeah, every quarterback's going to miss a couple. Aaron Rodgers, the most accurate quarterback of all time, misses throws.
Yes.
I'm not worried about misses. I'm worried about, bro, when you are putting the ball on a receiver, is it something where I have to go like this and be like, oh, I'm about to get murdered? Or, and yes, you're going to have a couple of those that get away from you. It's every single one for Purdy.
And it's funny because you would Kyle Shanahan doesn't throw a lot of fade routes, right? So Purdy would be fine for a 15-yard fade route, end zone, place it well, get the arc. But Kyle he needs a bullet passer, Kirk Cousin-esque piss missile throwing beast with, even if you have less touch. Mac Jones probably has less touch than Purdy does
for sure.
On his football.
Of course he does.
But for Shanahan's system, it's not working that well. And I think Kyle knows that. And I think he's stoked. I think he's stoked to play Mac this.
Dude, I'd be stoked to play Mac. I'm excited to see Mac because I'll tell you right now, I will not hear a single excuse if Mac Jones goes in on a short week and beats the Rams. There's not an excuse you can
No.
make. I don't care if Demarcus Robinson goes up there and catches a ball with his booger. I don't care. If Mac Jones wins, in my opinion, he should be QB1, period. End of story.
I agree with you. And that's the man, your fan base is just
they're
brutal.
scary, man. They're
Brutal,
scary.
Man. There's and I get it, all fan bases are like that. But it's like do what's best for your team. You can't get emotional about it, man. You can't like we all loved Purdy at one point, but we had to let go at one point as well.
Yeah, like I thought, and I remember saying it the whole time. I thought this Purdy thing was like a yeah, that's awesome, like cool. I thought when everything was said and done, like, all right, next season Trey Lance is going to get his spot back because he's obviously just way more talented than this kid. And you just had 3 quarterbacks work. Why would you be like, oh yeah, the third stringer that worked is the one I want to keep? And then they did it, and I was like, wait, wait, this is serious. And then they traded Trey Lance. I was like, wait, this is serious. Like, we're actually thinking this guy is him. And then he had 2023 with All-Pro Debo, All-Pro Brandon Ayuk, All-Pro Trent Williams, All-Pro Kyle Juszczyk, All-Pro George Kittle, and Offensive Player of the Year Christian McCaffrey. And they're like, dude, Brock Purdy's a god. I was like, what?
Well, hey, any quarterback is going to look good with a good run.
Brother,
too.
You could have put Cooper Rush back there and he would have been an MVP candidate. I don't know what everyone's thinking that Brock Purdy's some guy because Christian McCaffrey was the best player in the NFL.
Exactly. Look at Jalen Hurts right now.
Yeah. Like, I don't understand this. But now the whole excuse is you're only as good as your talent. But when I was saying that in 2023 is Purdy's only good because of his talent, it was no. He's this guy that elevates his play. Well, he didn't elevate shit last year, and he ain't elevating shit this year.
He's a great point guard. Okay, actually, not even anymore. He was a great point guard both pre-injuries of the arm and letting the playmakers do their thing. He had let's not forget Prime Debo.
And I think that's another thing, too, about his zip. And I know we're going on and on about Brock, but it's just a big point of emphasis this week.
It is what it is.
I think that's another thing is, like, everyone's like, what happened to his arm strength? What people don't remember is in 2023, when he, I guess, had arm strength, I don't think it was that much better, if at all. Bro, he was rehabbing. So he was constantly working out his throwing arm every day in, day out, multiple times a day. That arm was getting worked probably more than it's ever been worked in his life.
Yep.
Which, he's going to have more zip. But you could see now that he's back to his regular scheduled programming, he's like, oh, what happened to my arm strength? What do you mean? You tore your UCL, you've hurt your throwing shoulder, and you've hurt your throwing hand. What do you mean what happened?
It's like all 3 points of the arm,
like, and now you've hurt your toe that you can't plan off of. So you already have the worst arm in the NFL, like the weakest arm in the NFL. Now, I'm dead serious about that. There's not a player I think has a weaker arm.
And this is the sad reality that I feel like Joe Burrow is now entering as well. We all love Joe. He's definitely in that top 4 conversation for the past 2 years. I'm just, I'm worried that what has happened to him is going to affect him long term. And that's just how it is.
What do you mean? Like his injuries or like
injuries?
Luck? Okay.
Injuries. Yeah. You're going to lose zip. He already didn't have the strongest arm either. And I feel like I don't know. I'm a little worried to see
I will say Kurt Benkert, I don't take a lot of his opinions with, a lot of truth, but he did have turf toe surgery, just like Joe Burrow. He did tear that ligament.
Yeah.
And he said he noticed a lot of his athleticism and his zip went away after that. He said it just isn't the same anymore. It's not like other surgeries where you can get back to normal.
See, like even an ACL, you can get back to normal, even better. Even you can even have a stronger ACL after a good, reconstruction surgery. So turf toe, those little tiny bones and ligaments in the hands and the feet, crucial.
And I think this is an issue with Joe as well. I think that matches Purdy. And it's, in my opinion, their style. I think Joe's biggest issue is, like obviously we saw last night their offensive line was not good. One,
No.
stop blaming the front office. They have made a point to try and beef up this line. They've spent like $180 million on offensive line.
Yeah.
They have drafted offensive line. They can't force them to be good.
Mhm.
Orlando Brown Jr. was wanted by like every team in the NFL, and the Bengals got him. So saying like, well,
Yeah.
they should have known. Nobody else did.
Mhm.
And so like, and the thing is, in my opinion, it is scheme. It is, you saw it like, you sent me a clip, bro. You are running an empty set. You have 6 men on the defensive line. The offensive
Mhm.
line's already sitting there like, how am I blocking this? This is not going to be good. And then it's a guessing game. You are literally coin flipping. Like, okay, I'm going to try and block this dude, and let's hope this dude's not actually blitzing. And with Joe Burrow, it's the same thing, bro. They're sitting in shotgun all game. You have
Well,
to win your one.
and he is not mobile enough, dude.
Yeah.
You have to dodge. Like this is the same in like action sports, like you know, anything like that. You have to learn how to fall correctly to
Yeah.
avoid injuries. Like it's an art. There is an art to falling, and there's an art to taking sacks. I
I
feel
mean,
like
look
in
at
the NFL.
Tua. Since he started doing jujitsu and that training and whatever, hasn't had a concussion. And that
No,
dude's like, you could flick him in the brain and concuss him.
why do you think that this is one of Mahomes' biggest strengths? Is is he's never hurt. He's never hurt because he knows how to avoid
He also
painful
won a super.
sacks.
He also won a Super Bowl hurt. So
It's just like you have to learn the art of defense on the offensive side of
yeah,
the ball,
for sure.
and and same with receivers, man. Receivers, if they know that ball's placed incorrectly, like I gotta play defense for 3 seconds of my life right now, and
Yeah.
it's the same with quarterbacks, and it's not talked about enough, but it's the art of maneuvering the pocket and avoiding. And Joe Burrow will just take a freaking helmet to helmet sack and just take it. I'm like, dude, you can't do that.
Yeah, and another thing with Joe is his offense is very vertical. It's a college offense. It's a spread
Yeah,
offense. He plays
it
very
is.
vertical. If he was in Kyle's offense, like yeah, Kyle's had quarterback injury issues, but I think Joe would thrive with having an offense that's like, bro, these are quick hitters. Let's just get the
Absolutely.
ball out.
Yeah.
Because his offense with the Bengals is not a lot of quick hitters. They have a lot of developing routes, which I don't
Yeah.
understand why. Because you have Jamar Chase, who I think has one of the best releases in football,
Hmm.
and I think that's a big issue for Joe. Is yeah, you're in shotgun with long developing routes. You're asking him to go. You're asking the offensive line for a lot, right? Like, look at the
Yeah.
Niners, dude. They don't have the strongest offensive line. So George is always chip blocking. CMC is always chip blocking. You're always getting blocked by other people.
Yeah.
And the
Well,
Bengals have to get that involved.
the Bengals, they're worried about pass pro 100% of the time, but you need those quick dump offs. You're right. It is all vertical. Like you don't have anyone underneath for the blitz. Like if you watch, and this is actually what I was seeing a lot on the first few games with the Bears, which was surprising to me because I feel like with coming off of Jared Goff and all that, you know, Ben Johnson would have kind of had this under control. But if you watch the tape from the quarterback's perspective, everyone's kind of deep, at least 10 yards out. And by then, if you don't have good pass pro, you're screwed.
Yeah.
You have to take that sack,
Yeah.
you know?
Yep.
Um, so I think,
I
yeah, the Bengals
yeah.
have no one underneath.
And I will say that in the Bengals defense, their run game is wow, it is awful. It is horrible. I think Chase Brown's averaging, let me see. Chase Brown is averaging 2.3 yards a carry, dude. That is sickening how bad that is. That's like actually disgusting.
What's
That it
DeAndre
is that bad.
Swift's?
DeAndre Swift's, I tell you one thing, it is not going to be that low. I think I could run more than that as an average. DeAndre Swift's is 3.3. It's a whole yard better. It's not good at all, but it is. Yeah, I mean,
Man.
Ben Johnson got rid of DeAndre Swift. Ben Johnson was the coach that came in and said, we need Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery. I don't want DeAndre Swift. So I have a feeling next season you'll probably see him say the same thing.
Absolutely.
I just don't think they had many options this year. They had a lot to like fix.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I mean, quarterback problems are bananas right now. Did you have any other thing you wanted to go over? I know we've been talking a lot. I don't want to take all your day up.
I mean, we nailed it for the most part.
Yeah.
I think those those
So
are the most crucial ones.
we both got Rams winning tomorrow, yeah? This is the first
Yeah.
time I've ever predicted a Niners loss this season, by the way. Is this Rams game.
Yeah. Rams probably losing. I mean, winning. I don't think it's going to be by much. But I feel like they'll kind of pull it together and get the dub for sure.
Yeah. Niners don't have enough of a pass rush right now with Nick out. They haven't traded for a pass rusher yet.
No.
Bernardo Green, I think, is still out. And then
without Nick, they're
if Nick was
Stafford's
there,
gonna sling it.
I think if Nick was there, and if I'll put this stipulation, if Mac Jones has Ricky Pearsall at least, I think they could win. I'll change my prediction to they'll win. But if Mac Jones has to go in there with no Ricky and no Juwan, bro, you're asking him to actually do the impossible. Purdy can't even do it with him. So,
no. Yeah, no. If he has Ricky, I mean, the thing is I feel like they'll be smart and just kind of either put they'll have Ricky on lock, I feel like, because he's the wide receiver one. But yeah, that he has proven himself for sure though. I'm stoked to see the future with that dude, especially if getting freaking
bro.
His past.
He's so good.
So sick.
We appreciate you guys. We had like 110 people in here at one point. We appreciate you guys hanging out, staying with us, and listening to us yell about Brock Purdy. Have a good weekend, and we'll see you next time, guys.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for being here.